The new season is in full bloom on Broadway, and we are all about it. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Tamsen Fadal. Near or far, wherever you are, if you're looking for laughs, you'll want to check out Titanique. It's a musical parody based on the 90s blockbuster Titanic. The stars were out for opening night.
I love that I am a vessel to the greatest singer in the world, and my purpose is to bring joy for 90 minutes. I love that I'm looking at people, I'm breaking the fourth wall, the whole show is, and our main goal is to make people laugh.
This was a random idea that I had in a bar, so follow your intuition. You sky's the limit. I really, really, really mean that. You can do anything you put your mind to. Hard work and perseverance will lead you to whatever you want to do. Yeah, it's just, that's what happens. You have go off of the good feeling that you have inside of your gut.
I never would have dreamt that I would be in a cast like this. I mean, Marla just is so funny and so committed to the essence of the character that she just is wildly comical and funny all the time in the most simple moments. And Constantine sings his face off. The joint effort of everybody's talent and gift is incomparable. It's just amazing.
I got an email from my agent one day that said, offered Titanique. And I was like, what role? I have no idea what they could be offering. And as soon as I opened it and said, you've been offered the role of Rose's mother, Ruth, I was like, oh, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
I sat on the side of the mezzanine, like way against the wall the other day, so that I could just turn and look at all the faces as they were experiencing these jokes and these bits. And then the sing-along, that almost makes me more emotional than knowing people are laughing so much. To see how people feel at the end of the show, to know that their vibration, their heart, their spirit has been uplifted, that's the magic. That's what it's about.
The Razzle Dazzle is alive and well. It's a Dancing with the Stars reunion on Broadway. I sat down with Whitney Leavitt and Mark Ballas, teaming up in Chicago. How exciting is this to be reunited? What does this feel like?
It's really exciting. We were just talking the other day and I was like, gosh, like, you know, just moments like this happen so fast. Like even Dancing with the Stars, and I remember when we first started, even Mark was like, it's gonna feel like that, and it felt like that. So the fact that we get to prolong that journey together, for me, I'm really excited.
Yeah, same. We just hit it off,
Yeah.
became buddies, and it's the same thing I was thinking about the other day. It felt like yesterday we were here rehearsing your tango
Seriously.
in Soho, and now,
Wow.
it just went so fast, but getting to do this together is just gonna be so much fun.
Yeah.
The characters, how do you relate to these roles now? When you sit and look at them, you laugh. Tell me.
It's just very us. It's hilarious.
It is.
Yeah.
Even the fights that they have.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hilarious. At least for me with Roxy, I feel like she's very much of a character that just knows what she wants, and she just doesn't have any shame in stating what she wants. She wants the spotlight, she wants to be a star, and she wants to dance in vaudeville, and I can relate with that. Yeah, she's a bit sass too. I can relate with her on that.
Does she have any of Roxy in her? Any of the sass?
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Well, you have the razzle dazzle, so it's okay.
Yes,
it's all right.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been a big fan of the show, both of you? I feel like
yes.
everybody is, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a full circle moment for me. I went to musical theater college in the UK. Theater has always been in my, in my world, and it's kind of what started me in the entertainment industry. And when I graduated from theater school, I was 19, and one of the first shows I tried out for was for Chicago, and it was for the ensemble, the male ensemble. I got right down to the end and ended up not booking the gig. I was 19, I was auditioning, I was out there in the streets, getting there, doing these auditions, and it was like learning to pay your dues and learning how to take rejection and learning to get back up and try again. And now 20 years later, I'm coming back to Chicago as Billy Flynn, and now this is my third Broadway show. So this is a full circle moment for me. I grew up loving this music and learning this music and spending time with this music.
There was the Dancing with the Stars, and now taking that to Chicago is, I think, pretty incredible. And I don't know that that's been done before with a pairing.
Yeah, we're the first, I think, pairing from Dancing with the Stars to do a show together, which is just a huge honor and humbling. And it just felt like, I remember when we got Cell Block Tango for our song, it was a week that you had to select a song that had been used on previous seasons, and I remember seeing it on the list, and I was like, "That's so you, dude. We got to do that." And I wanted Argentine Tango, like, 'cause we hadn't had that yet, and so then we got to pick it, and then you got to go audition, and it just all kind of naturally. I love that. I love when things just fall into place.
Are we going to have any surprises on Chicago now with the two of you together? I feel like people are going to be waiting. Can we say? Do we know?
Maybe some dancing.
We've
I don't
talked
know.
about throwing in some stuff. We have to
Yeah.
see if we're allowed to, but like
Yeah.
you know, we have ideas. We always have ideas.
Too many.
Too many.
They're some of the grand masters of Broadway: Lea Michele, Aaron Tveit, and Nicholas Christopher. Paul Wontorek took a walk with one of the stars of chess, Lea Michele.
Leah, so happy to see you.
So happy to see you too.
How is Broadway treating you?
Broadway is great. I'm having just the greatest time over at Chess for so many reasons. It's the show, it's the music, it's the cast, it's the theater, it's like my family. Just honestly, this has been one of, if not the greatest sort of creative experiences I've ever had, filled with a lot of joy, and I'm having the best time.
So we're gonna do something fun today. We're gonna walk through your resume. You ready to do that?
I'm so ready.
Do you do this all the time on your own? Do you go like, that theater I did this, that's the
Honestly,
theater
no,
where
but it is really like sweet when you drive by these theaters that were your homes, and you kind of reminisce. So I'm really excited to talk about these spaces that really mean so much to me.
Well, this is a big one.
This is a big
This
one.
is a big one because 3 years ago there was an event happening here, and it was called Lea Michele. It was you, funny girl, Fanny Price. First of all, that was so meta because you had gone off to Hollywood, created Rachel Berry, became very famous in that period of time away from Broadway, and then Rachel Berry went to Broadway to star in Funny Girl, and then we all wanted to see you play Fanny Price in Funny Girl, and then you did?
And then it happened.
Like, I feel like years from now we're gonna look back and go, wait, that all really happened?
I know. I feel like there will be definitely a TV movie in there somewhere. But it's funny how these things work and how things come out of your life and you have to sort of let go, and they're brought back when they're supposed to. And I really think that Funny Girl was meant to come back into my life once I was a mother and a wife, because that is so much of what her story is. I think we think about Funny Girl and we think about Fanny on the stage and performing and her being so driven, which is true, and it is true for who I am as a person as well. But what Fanny wanted just as much was love, and to be a wife, and to be in love, and to have a real life outside of what she does professionally. And I think the universe was waiting for me to have that sort of experience so that then I could truly come and play this part with that life experience behind me. And it was perfect. It happened exactly how it was supposed to. And my dressing room was right there. It was that window is the second floor right in the center. And it would overlook, I would look, my face was right there on the billboard.
Okay, we have a lot of theaters to get to, so we're gonna head that way.
Let's go.
Let's go. Leah, look, it's the Eugene O'Neill.
No.
This is a really super special.
Hey, I slept in this theater 2 times.
Really?
Did you not watch the Spring Awakening
Oh
documentary?
no, of course I did. Of course, I'm
We
sorry.
snuck in overnight and we slept in this theater like crazy people.
Right, you kids, the crazy kids of Spring Awakening. I mean, that was an incredible group of people.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
I think you knew it was special at the time. I was around a little bit for that. I was at your opening and stuff, but I feel like you all knew that there was like magic happening.
It really wasn't, and we knew magic was happening, that's for sure. I've always, I mean, I started working on the original workshops and everything of Spring Awakening from when I was 14.
I know.
And then by the time I got to Broadway, I think I was 20.
Yep.
So I knew for all of those years that Spring Awakening was such an amazing, special show.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't until our Tony season, and when we woke up and we had all of those nominations, that's when we were like, oh my gosh, this is bigger than we even ever thought it was.
Also, it's cool to be in the cool show.
Yeah,
it was like you were in Rent. It's like, I mean, there was no cast of Rent, right?
Yeah.
There are very few casts where it's like this iconic group of a generation. Like,
you know, look, we were dealing with some really intense subject matter, so we definitely had moments where we were able to really sort of like live in those moments of feeling like rock stars. But I think a lot of it was also, you know, battling kind of with the subject matter of what we were doing every night and how we kind of released that was by spending time with each other.
Right.
And like leaving the theater and then like going to Jonathan's house like right away or right after, or my apartment, and like letting off our steam and kind of like putting the show to bed.
Sure.
By spending our time with each other, because it was intense, but at the same time just so fun and special, and this changed everything for me.
Okay, this is the Lyric Theater. Harry Potter's here, of course. Many people might call this like maybe their favorite of your credits, just because like, you know, there's different kinds of musical theater fans, right? Ragtime, the original Ragtime, you were the little girl.
Yeah.
She has no name, but she's actually like a really important character. I'm sure at that time you were 11.
Yeah, I did it in Canada with the original cast for a full year.
Okay, wow.
And which was interesting because I'd never, you know, I'd worked in one show prior on Broadway.
Yeah.
And then we got, you know, I got this offer to do this show, but it meant moving to Canada for a full year.
Wow.
So we lived in Canada with the original cast, building this show, creating it, getting to hear some of the most iconic, memorable, greatest songs in Broadway, you know, history.
Yeah.
Hearing them for the first time, hearing songs get cut and new songs get added in, and hearing Audra sing "You're Your Daddy's Son" for the first time, and Marin singing Back to Before. We had our little like bubble in Canada, and then we brought it to New York, and we brought it to this theater. So when we got here, we'd already been doing it for a full year. I remember feeling like, okay, now we have to present it to New York and to Broadway, and it was a really big deal.
Hey, the Minskoff. You did
Fiddler on the Roof.
Fiddler on the Roof here, and who'd you play?
I played Shrinza.
I was thinking about, you went into this, I think when you were like 17, and so there's a nice gap from doing the little girl to that.
A little bit of like an awkward age,
Yeah.
but a really meaningful and beautiful show that I'm just very proud to have been a part of.
Well, Lea, if they ever name a theater after you, this might be a good one.
That's so sweet.
The Imperial, because this is where it all started.
Yeah.
And this is where you're currently killing it in just, you're so good in this show.
Thank you so
But first,
much.
let's rewind. Let's rewind
Yeah.
to 8-year-old Lea,
Yes,
is that right?
1995.
Eponine. I mean, this is maybe where the Eponine fantasy started.
Oh my gosh, I would, yes. I mean, I love Les Mis so much. I remember every single thing about Les Mis when I was 8 years old. I never expected Les Mis to happen for me. That was never a part of my plan. I had never sung before, I'd never performed before, and it was brought into my life, and it changed my life. And I never was expecting chess to come into my life. I thought after Funny Girl, it would be really challenging for me to find something that I felt as equally inspired by.
Yeah.
And then chess came along,
Yeah.
and I'm having the greatest time of my life. And I just want to keep working and performing here on Broadway.
This is a Broadway show, and we're back in just a few. Cats, the JELLICLE Ball is now on Broadway and just celebrated opening night. It's a reimagining of Andrew Lloyd Webber's classic musical Cats, but set in the world of ballroom. We hit the red carpet with the stars on opening night.
The joy that it brought, 45 years ago was amazing, but the joy that this show brings is monumental and 1,000-fold. People leave this show just singing and dancing. I've never experienced anything like it. It is just pure joy.
The original Deuteronomy was created by my good friend, Ken Page, who's looking down on us now and blessing me. Secondly, because when I make the entrance as old Deuteronomy, people are screaming, Andre!
It's a merging of two world powers, two world arts in one place. This is my first time out the gate. So it's classic, and you never repeat a classic. You just embellish on it.
This is my purpose. It's to speak for those who are othered, to speak for those who experience ageism, to speak for those women who are treated badly, like, the patriarch system. Like, this is a redemption story for Temperance, for Grisabella, and for everybody else who ever felt like othered,
Death Becomes Her is alive on Broadway, and audiences are drinking the potion. It's a hilarious musical about the ultimate diva showdown. Here's an exclusive musical performance from the Broadway.com studio.
I love you.
I love you.
You're my person.
That's right, dear. Forever and always and true.
She'll choke when she sees how loved I am by you. You make me feel like a queen in my sweatpants and old underwear. You let me wear my retainer and CPAP machine. You don't care. You don't care that I give up on dreams because I'm too scared to try. Or the dance from the SPCA you make me cry. That I spend most of my life chasing friends and forget that I'm there. That was then, this is now. Now I've made a transformation, and Helen Sharp will never be the same. I've got you, you've got me, and I'm on new medication.
Welcome back to the Broadway Show. I'm Tamsen Fadal. Let's get back to it. Here's something really cool. Back in December, Disney, Seattle Theater Group, and Broadway at the Paramount hosted a sensory-friendly performance of The Lion King. The event, designed to welcome audience members with sensory sensitivities to the theater in a more relaxed setting.
The sensory-friendly performances are designed specifically to try to reduce the potential of sensory overload. So we do a lot of things in terms of modifying the show to just make it a more comfortable environment.
I do this speech at the beginning of the show for our sensory-friendly audiences about how this is a relaxed and accepting environment. And I went out on stage and I just see like 1,500 smiles.
Whether you enjoy the show by sitting there in silence, or you enjoy the show by making noise, or you enjoy the show by taking a break in the lobby before coming back in, we just want you to know every reaction is not only okay, but it is actually the main ingredient of our show today.
I was going out there to try to make them feel relaxed, but they made me feel relaxed as well. And that's how we communicate in theater, is like we're all agreeing we're gonna have an experience today and we're all participating in creating it.
I like to describe a sensory-friendly performance as turning the theater into your living room. And everyone's living room might be a little bit different. So everything is good, everything's kosher that happens. The lights aren't as dark, production values of the show change a little bit, so it's not quite as loud, quite as striking or bright for people. And I think most important is it's a living room.
I think everybody deserves to have like experience like everybody to come and watch all the shows without like feeling intimidated. To grace them with my talent on stage, it's amazing. I'm pouring my heart on stage, like I'm telling them that you guys are not alone. Everybody all over the world are here with you.
Pulling off an event like this takes a village, from cast and crew to venue staff, volunteers, medical advisors, and the families in attendance.
A lot of times at the end of a show, like as the actors are coming out on the stage and you see these, now I'm gonna get teary, you see the parents just crying because this is the first time they've ever been able to do this with their kids because it's safe. It's really amazing.
Being in that with the community, and just sitting there enjoying and everybody just being happy to be just included and seeing the kids, that was like, I think for me I was crying.
I know they do a phenomenal job at any performance, but there was this little feeling that they were just doing something a little bit special for this audience, and whether they were or not on purpose, it definitely came off that way, and so it really meant a lot.
The fact that we had an extra long intermission was amazing. I think generally intermissions can be stressful, but this was so relaxed, and so it felt like we got extra special care that way.
Sensory-friendly performances are expanding nationwide, creating new pathways for audiences to experience Broadway. Catch one in a venue near you.
Someone had a little anxiety about coming. This is her first Broadway show, and let me ask her, do you want to come back to another show or not? What do you think?
Yes.
Ooh, so this was what my memories are, because I'm just so happy their mom and their generation got to go with their grandma. So to continue that, and as a immigrant here and allowing my kids to experience this is just phenomenal for my memories.
We asked the audience members and guests to describe the experience in one word.
It was just wonderful.
I would say beautiful.
It would be welcoming.
This is amor. This is love.
Amazing.
That's all for now, but for tickets and for more exclusive content, you can head over to Broadway.com. Until next time, I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is The Broadway Show.